take this conversation further, we are joined on the line by Graham Briggs. He's the CEO of Harmony Gold. Graham, thank you for your time. Firstly, why is the Department of Mineral Resources and the mining industry going to court?
Well, I think it's a case of interpretation of the charter. What the DMR is saying is that any deals post-2004 where the black entity has sold out, that does not count towards empowerment. In fact, the mining industry has an agreement when it gets its mineral rights that it will undertake certain empowerment transactions to the extent of 26% or more, and that in fact is what the mining industry has done. And so when a black entity has sold some of their shares, I'm talking deals post-2004, then that the government says doesn't count. As the chamber members, we are saying they do count because that was our agreement with the government that we would do that. We can't hold those black participants to a deal where they get no benefits from selling their shares. So where people have sold their shares, that's the area that we are in difference of opinion on.
Hi, Graham. The private sector has always been very innovative. Surely there's room for innovation in terms of employee equity. That could be more sustainable, locked-in holders, and then of course it aligns the interests of the employees with the company. Do you think that's maybe more sustainable solution than once-off big BEE deals?
Yeah, look, the BEE deals have been in many forms in many different companies. Some of them are very broad-based. Some of them are employee share option schemes. The very early transactions were with more entrepreneurs, if you like. But behind every scheme there are benefits to be reaped, and the real empowerment comes from, for instance, where a company has benefited from a BEE deal and then has sold down and maybe created their own black company. So those happen. We can't have a class of shares which are permanently going to be locked into the company because, that would be crazy. We'd have a certain class of shares where people can never actually cash in. It just doesn't work that way.
Graham, is Harmony Gold currently compliant with the 26% BEE holding in the way that the government understands it? So if you're not taking into account the once empowered, always empowered principle?
Yeah, so Harmony has done many transactions, and we actually started doing transactions in this company way before the charter. If you look at our total black empowerment transactions up to date, we have about 43% empowerment. Now, some of those transactions are post-2004. I can give you an example where we did a transaction with Evander in Pan-African, and I think we're claiming something like 1.5% for that.
Okay.
Now that one, they have sold out, so maybe that one doesn't count. But irrespective of it, this is the principle that we're talking about is that, once you've done a transaction, it should surely count towards doing empowerment.
Graham, thank you so much for that. That was Graham Briggs. He's the CEO of Harmony Gold, telling us the latest, and he was just on the line with us.